Spent a big chunk of the morning doing analysis for the poker space, the casino space. Normally I'd keep away from this area. It's just a dark space, this one. But this is a business in selling the equipment. So selling the poker chips, selling the cards, selling the poker tables. And like with any analysis, everything begins from understanding the search volume and how many times a month a certain keyword gets entered into Google, and then having a look at who is currently ranking at the top and essentially getting that traffic, the chunk of the pie, and who is eating that pie. Anything with this space, things go really hard, really fast the moment the key terms lean over towards the online gambling, online poker space, which is, look, I wouldn't say it's frowned upon by Google, but you definitely, it's a different world, that one. So staying clear of those keywords is essential. However, for product type stuff, I was happy to discover that it wasn't as hard as I expected. There were probably a handful of sites in Australia that get more than 1,000 organic visitors a month. So these are .com.au domains that rank at the top. The one at the very top sits at a cool 7,000 visitors a month, with position number 2 sitting on about 2,000 to 3,000 visitors a month, which are not big numbers compared to how much search volume there is. There's definitely a lot more search. I had a look at the sites. All 3 top websites are Shopify websites. Makes sense. It's either Shopify or WooCommerce. All 3 sites were very simple. In fact, the product images supplied by the suppliers made up for most of the imagery on all the sites and the descriptions. Nothing sophisticated here. Looking at how many pages they had, I think the website in first position had 41,000 index pages. That's a big boy. It's existed for more than 10 years. So from an SEO perspective, like, who are we to think we can just jump to first page of organic results? Because none of these key terms are localized, so no one really looks at buying poker chips in Sydney or in Melbourne. Sure, you get some geo results, but it's mostly, hey, send me the poker set online and I want to play. We looked at the intent across all keywords. So if we were to fire up a Google ad for the term poker sets, poker chips, what are they looking for? And there was a mixture of, we just want the cheapest, the most basic, the cheapest that we can just give as a gift, all the way to what I think the keyword that I learned is casino grade. There's a couple of other key terms in that space that stood out that basically are the luxury, the premium version. So if I was to run a Google ad on Google Shopping, would stay clear of obviously the online gambling terms. But for something like poker set, we'd lead the traffic out to a page that has a variety of products, from the cheapest to the most basic, to the casino grade, the high-end chips and high-end cards and high-end tables and things like that. So that's coming from a Google Ads perspective. But how does a brand like this kick off? A no-brainer is, of course, ground zero, which is picking up all your social accounts. I think more than ever, social media is a trust signal to Google, where having the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the TikToks and things like that all have some content up, a little bit of views, a little bit of followers that all link back to the main site. We can call it whatever we want to call it, social ring of trust, social fortress, whatever all the SEO resellers call it. But it's truth. You have, if you look at the natural startup of a business, of a brand, it generally means we pick up a domain and we pick up all of the social tags with it, Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I think there's like 30 or 40 of them these days. And so why not pick them all up? Why not set them all up, put a basic description on them, and make sure they all link back to the main site where it's allowed. Some of these platforms don't allow you to link out to the main site until you have a certain amount of followers. No problem, still pick up that account. And you want to link out to those accounts from the footer of your website when you do pick up a website, or link out to these accounts across all your social platforms. So from Facebook link to Instagram, from Facebook link to Twitter, and so forth. It's still always a good idea to register a Google business. Why not? It's an online business, but get that additional little citation, get that additional little listing. You probably don't have an office location, so what you might do, you might register it to your home address and set it as a service business. And so we have ground zero set up even before you have a website. To get some early day eyeballs after you do build a website, look, I'm always a believer of getting reels out the door on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook, and linking out to the site. Because you want basically to Google to start familiarizing itself with your website and crawling it, whatnot. I skipped the part of building the website. Website is easy. All we need to do is, in this case, we don't need to recreate the wheel, right? We looked at the top competitors, top 5. We pulled a list of their top pages, their top traffic pages, and we saw how they're set up in terms of what keywords they're targeting. Even if we don't look at the competitors, we speak to the client and say, hey, Mr. Client, people are searching for poker sets in Google 3,600 times. So very much makes sense to have a page /poker sets, just like that, where the main title, main H1, H2, meta description says the word poker set. Very simple shit, huh? Same as poker tables. You have your various versions of poker tables, but you want to make these pages as high quality as possible. This is where, you know, getting some hot videos out the door, getting some hot videos on those pages might help promote your products. This gentleman runs events, poker events, which is awesome. There's no better way to start building your brand assets from these events, where you're using the chips that you then sell. You make it clear to everyone that participates at these events that they can buy at a discounted rate. And so you get the ball rolling on the first steps of your business. And it literally just starts by just getting out there, being mentioned. And I wouldn't expect any sales from SEO, from these efforts, in the first couple of months, unless you're driving the visitor, hey man, check it out. Of course they might buy to support you. If you want to stop, drop and roll, shit yeah, let's fire up a Google ad, let's spend a couple of grand, you're definitely going to get sales. Just a question of how much might you lose on that sale, or is it positively geared on that sale? What did they buy? How many did they buy? And then you're basically testing the waters. Yeah, I love discovering new spaces. I've known this space for a few years and I've always stayed clear of the casino and gambling stuff, but this is definitely up my alley.